There we go. Okay. All right. All praise to Yahweh Shem Shah. Today's lesson will be on a quick lesson on the make some corrections to the timeline. You have to always check and double check and recheck your information. If you go online and look up supposedly when the birth of Esau and Jacob, some sites have it at 1653 BC, but it's more than likely it's going to be correct at 1836 BC. Starting out with what the so-called top scholars claim as the time Adam showed up on the earth in 4004 BC. Then we have the flood coming about 2350 BC. And then we have the Tower of Babel at 2200 BC. And then we have the birth of Jacob and Esau at 1836 BC. But remember, the people that are supposedly the historians are mostly Jewish guys. So you can't always depend on Amalekite Jewish people to tell you the correct history, because their purpose is to convolute the history so bad that you can't figure out where they're telling a lie at and where they're telling the truth at. So it all sounds like it's correct. So you have to be very, very careful with that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try to get this timeline correct so we can go ahead and punch in the lineage of Shem all the way down to Israel. So this is why you need to know what this timeline is very, very important, because especially those of us that are in the northern kingdom of Israel, which are Native Americans, we didn't come over on the slave ships supposedly in from 1619 to 1865. We didn't come over, we were already here. So everybody's saying, well, if y'all are Native Americans and not Negroes, then how in the world do y'all fit in the line of Shem? So we're going to go ahead and follow up on that just to get it clear. I've done it several times before, but just to make sure we get the correct timeline. 1836 BC, the birth of Esau and Jacob. Okay, birth of Esau and Jacob, but that's 1836 BC. But at 2200, you got the Tower of Babel. 2350, you got the flood. You got the flood. Okay. Now, significance is after the flood, 2350. You got the three sons. Shem, Japheth, and Ham. Shem, Japheth, and Ham, that's the 2350. The reason why this is so significant is because everybody tries to take the dark-skinned, Negroid, Native American people that are commonly called Black Americans, whether they're Negroid Indians or whether they're Negroes that came over on the slave ship. They all want to punch them into Ham, which was the youngest son of Noah. Ham became the progenitor of the dark races, but not the Negroes. Everybody can go to Zondervan's Bible Dictionary and get that definition. So, we want to make sure we get Shem's lineage, which goes from Shem, Arphaxad, Shelah, Eber, Peleg, Ru, Serug, Nahor, Terah, then Abraham, then Isaac, then Jacob, and then the Israelites. So, Shem is the progenitor of the Israelites, not Ham. So, that is very, very significant because, get this to stay up here correctly. Oops. we go. There we go. Okay. All right. Shem is progenitor. Shem is the progenitor of the line of Abraham, not Ham. Now, that is significant because of the 18 nations. Again, we're going all over this again. The 18 nations that came about after the flood. You got 18 nations, and of those 18 nations are split up between the three sons of Shem, Japheth, and Ham. Shem, Japheth, and Ham are the three fathers of the 18 nations that came upon the earth after the flood of 2350 BC, approximately 2350 BC. This is what the scholars say. I haven't gone back in time and done a calculation, but this is what the scholars say. So the most important thing to know is that the reason why everybody tries to confuse you, especially people like this, they want to confuse you, is because they want you to think that they are the Israelites and not you. But they're not. Okay, so let's go forward through it. Of course, you had the Tower of Babel, which changed all the languages. Then you had, in 1836 BC, you had Esau and Jacob come on the scene. Now, this right here, Esau and Jacob, in 1836, that's what happened right down here. After Shem and all his lineage down to Abraham, then Abraham had Ishmael and, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 other sons besides Isaac and Ishmael, okay? So, those,
his son by his second wife.
yeah, he had, after Sarah, yeah. Mm-hmm. But Sarah, he had Isaac by, and that's the one that was the promise was given to, was Isaac, not Ishmael, which was by Hagar. All right, but from Ishmael you get the Ishmaelites. From his other children you get the Lemites, Asherites, Lecherites. Now, that's all fine and dandy, but they are not the chosen line. The only chosen line is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and then the Israelites. Now, here's the key. If these people can convince you that you're from Africa and you're from the descendants of Ham, then that means you're not the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are descendants of Shem, not Ham. So they're constantly trying to tell you that you are Hamites. These people, Joseph Smith, Ellen G. White, everybody else is always trying to tell you you come from Ham. You are an African. You came over on slave ships from Africa. You look like Africans, and therefore you are Africans. That is a total lie. So, what we're going to do, we're going to use the scriptures and prove that that's a lie. Okay. And we're going to use the artifacts to prove that that's a lie. So what we're going to do is, first of all, let's go get the scriptures. Deuteronomy 28 chapter. According to the curses of Deuteronomy 28, it says, you know what I'm missing? I'm missing my glasses. That's why I can't see anything. Let me pause this right quick.